right, welcome to 2025. I'm Trina, your intuitive guide, helping you navigate life's energies. And today I want to talk about the North Node moving into Pisces. This is our first big kind of transit of 2025, and it's happening on January 11th, and it lasts until July 26, 2026. The North Node is our destiny, okay? It's the energy that we're moving towards as a collective that's in Pisces. And Pisces is all about spirituality, your intuition. And I think in a world gone techno-mad, if you know what I mean, it's important to remember our soul evolution, raising our vibration, trusting ourselves, listening to ourselves internally rather than all the external. And so the North Node in Pisces asks us to listen to that inner voice, the intuition, merging the brain, the gut, and the heart chakras. You know what I mean? Like merging all that and being true to yourself and loving yourself and loving the spiritual side of things. So now I'm going to go into Aries to Pisces, what this all means. However, because the North Node's in Pisces, I'm going to start with Pisces first. All right, Pisces. So the North Node is in Pisces. This is your first house, the first house of the self. So for the next while until July 2026, Pisces, you're on a journey of self-discovery. The first house is about our physical avatar, you know, this meat suit that we live in. Sure, but this is about being true to you, discovering deep stuff about yourself, and maybe finding your individuality again, you know, especially when we have kids or even like being married for a long time, for example, you start to sort of lose your identity, like what you were, or something, you know, because you're busy with life and busy. So Pisces, I think this is a time where you can really be selfish in a good way, working with the self, okay? It's good for you, Pisces, to embrace your spiritual side as well, you know? Aquarius. I'm an Aquarius. The North Node in Pisces asks us to look at our second house of self-worth. Now, the second house is associated with resources and money, sure, but that's the 3D world, right? We're talking about the North Node in Pisces. That's spiritual. This is intuitive. This is about looking at your self-esteem, being able to value and love yourself. Some of that happens through nutrition because the second house is quite associated with the mouth, what goes in the mouth, nutrition. You know, so for the next while till July 2026, I think that you'll be really looking at your worth, what is valuable to you now. Maybe you thought that it was all about the money, but you're realizing it's much more than that, you know. Health is wealth because, you know, I think you're going to have a focus on the nutrition and bringing up the vibration. You know, Pisces is very spiritual, and the North Node in the second house is about raising your self-worth vibe, your confidence. And as you take care of yourself and love yourself and value yourself, so will others, and the money will come naturally. Capricorn. All right, so we've got the North Node in Pisces, very spiritual and intuitive in your third house of communications. I think that you'll be expressing your spiritual side more, talking more about it. Maybe if you own your own business, doing more spiritual stuff within the business. And there can be like your siblings might be involved. So something spiritual with the siblings, your community, being compassionate to Pisces. That, you know, North Node and Pisces in general is that there's a compassion and empathy for your neighbors, for your community. And I could see you, Capricorn, being busy here. You know, with the third house, there's a lot of marketing, branding, texts, emails, communications. And for some of you Capricorns, it could be learning something new, like taking a course or something about intuition, about some Pisces sort of industries or spirituality. And I think you'll be meeting a lot more people in your nearer groups that want to hang out with you and maybe talk about the spiritual, intuitive things. Sagittarius, with this North Node in Pisces, very intuitive, very empathic, very spiritual. It's happening in your fourth house of your roots, your ancestry, your home and family. So you will be definitely interested in where you come from. Sagittarius, you're a sign that likes to explore, and maybe you've been busy exploring, but for the next while until July 26, 2026, you will be maybe settling down a bit more, focusing more on the home, real estate, and the family, and your ancestors too, you know, hanging out with them more. It's good for you to have a sacred space within the home to meditate, to pray, to do yoga, all that sort of spiritual stuff, like this sacred space, a quiet space to really get in tune with that within the home. Scorpio. The North Node in Pisces is very spiritual for everyone and intuitive, but for you, it's happening in your fifth house of entrepreneurship, you know, creativity, creating new spiritual Pisces flavored things in your life. This could be about finding new romance too. The fifth house can be new romance and really getting in touch with your hobbies. What used to be fun. It's the fun house, the fifth house. So I like seeing that for you, Scorpio. It's good to lighten up, have fun. Your talents shine now, right? And, you know, maybe these old hobbies you used to have that you really enjoyed, whether that was drawing, playing music, singing, arts and crafts, whatever it was that, or maybe you were a builder or made things. This could come up again because there's a lot of creativity associated with the fifth house. So have fun, be creative, get in touch with your spiritual side. And if you've been thinking, Scorpio, of starting a business in the spiritual realm, this is a perfect time to do that. Libra. This North Node in Pisces, very spiritual, compassionate, empathic, intuitive. It's happening in your sixth house, meaning that that's where we serve others. We serve people here. We heal others here. It's our day-to-day, adding more spiritual intuition stuff to your life day-to-day. This is also about your health, and it could be that your spiritual health takes precedence. Doing more things on a spiritual level for your health. Getting back to that, right? Listening to your gut, your heart, your intuition. There's another thing too with the sixth house. It can be about animals in some way. Animal healing, maybe. Animal communication. Things like that. There's your animals, you know, you're more telepathic, intuitive with them. You know, some of you Libra might find more animals coming to your doorstep, like, oh, suddenly I got a couple more cats to feed or whatever, right? Especially if you live on a farm, things like that, Libra. But this is the time where you're learning through doing. The sixth house is all about doing. So add more spiritual compassion and empathy to your work and your day-to-day, and you'll be just fine. Virgo. Okay, so the North Node in Pisces for everyone is very compassionate and intuitive and caring, nurturing, okay? And Virgo, this is in your seventh house of relationships. This is a time where you might be taking a break from being solo, Virgo, okay, so to speak, like having a partner, a best friend, a partner in your travels, in your, you know, you're really learning about relationships here with the North Node in Pisces and being compassionate to others, intuitive, working together, this whole interdependence, okay? And I think a lot about it, Virgo, is about finding someone to take on a journey with you, an intuitive spiritual journey, whatever that means to you, you know. And this doesn't have to be marriage or a spouse. It can be just a best friend, someone you hang out with quite a bit, you know. The 7th house is a lot about those one-to-one partnerships. I do see you, Virgo, taking on a little bit more contracts, commitments as well. And using your intuition to feel it out. It's Pisces, right? North Node in Pisces for everyone. Leo, wow. You are having this intuitive North Node in Pisces in an intuitive house called the 8th house. Very transformative here, Leo. You are transforming until July 26th. I would say, Leo, your whole life is changing. It may have already begun. January 11th, 2025, right, coming up right away here. That's when it all starts. Now, this is a death and rebirth house. Something within you is going through a winter time phase, right? Where it dies, so to speak, in order to transform and grow something new. There's a deep exploration of your psychology, your inner feelings, how you grew up, all of it. Okay, the 8th house, very deep. You should probably research the 8th house because it is a very deep house. Now, Leo, another thing too, which can be sort of a negative, I guess, because of the death and rebirth, you may encounter till July 26, 2026, some more deaths in your reality, right? Like maybe you're going to a few more funerals than usual, right? It's very uncovering the deep mysteries of life as well. 8th house has a lot to it. Another thing too, though, on a not so deep level, the 8th house can be about joint resources. So you and your spouse's money, for example, changes are going there. It could be too where you're really focusing on paying off debt, which is a good thing to do in the 8th house. The 8th house is also good for getting your ducks in a row for when it's your time to pass, meaning getting your will in order, getting all that stuff for the future. Just all nice and set up for, because, you know, we all die. That's the truth. So you are rebirthing, though, Leo, into someone totally new. So after July 2026, you're going to be a whole new Leo coming out of this, much more experienced, comfortable with yourself, and going on some kind of new journey. Cancer, wow, you're the spiritual guru for a while here until July 26, 2026, with the North Node in Pisces in your 9th house. This is a time where your beliefs are changing, the way you see life, your philosophies, your belief systems. You could even be changing your whole faith, right? Your whole religion, whatever that means to you, because you're looking here at some new spiritual freedom. You're really getting all spiritual, teaching it, learning it, being a guru almost, you know, or being affiliated with gurus. I say the word guru, meaning like a spiritual leader of some. Being more in like the 9th house is very energy healing. It's where the Reiki happens. It's like the travel, the foreign affairs, publishing too, you know, Cancer. You might have things that you are ready to publish and there's a spiritual vibe with it or a higher vibrational vibe to it, right? Higher resonance here. This is about you looking over the horizon, looking far, expansion in so many ways for you, Cancer, at this time. Very exciting. I like the 9th house personally. This can also mean higher education, where you take a course, go back to school, something like that. But there's a spiritual vibe to it. It feels good to your soul. Gemini. We've got the North Node in Pisces, which is very compassionate, intuitive, empathic, and it's happening in your 10th house of career, fame, recognition. This is where you're like a spiritual boss, Gemini. You're bringing that compassion and that spiritual stuff, that wisdom into your work, into how you make a mark in the world. You know, even if you didn't have a job or career because you're retired, for example, it's how people see you. It's at the top of your chart. There's something special, Gemini, about you. People are going to be watching you and learning from you. And you have this spiritual boss babe sort of vibe, if you know what I mean. You have wisdom to help others and guide others, especially at your work or at your business as well. So that looks good indeed. I think it's good to bring some spirituality into your office, right? Do some feng shui, bring some crystals to work, whatever, but you probably already do that, Gemini. But I'm just saying, like, to really kind of get into your spiritual boss babe sort of vibe there until July 26, 2026. Taurus, your North Node's in Pisces in your 11th house. This is great. This is a nice house to be in. This is the people, the networks, having more spiritual friends to talk to, meeting new spiritual, compassionate, intuitive people. And, you know, it's really about connecting with others. And Taurus, the 11th house can mean your hopes and dreams, taking a Pisces flavor to that, going on a Pisces style vacation, which is the ocean, tropical, water is involved with Pisces energy. Spiritual communities, though, that's a big thing here for you. And kind of just surrendering to the flow of life. And Aries, North Node in Pisces is in your 12th house. You're the spiritualist until July 26th. See, you've got double spirituality going on here. So the North Node in Pisces for everyone is very spiritual and intuitive, like we talked about, but the 12th house is extremely intuitive as well, very spiritual. It's where the angels are. It's where we go on our yoga retreats, our spiritual retreats. It's where we get away from the world. You know, some of you Aries people might be moving to the country or away from the people, away from the 15-minute cities or whatever you call those fancy new robot cities that they're making. You know what I'm saying? Like getting away and really healing your old wounds, working on your spirituality, your inner you, the inner knowing. I think you're going through a change, Aries, where you're stopping and you've decided, you know, you will decide maybe to stop listening so much externally to all the noise and start listening to your soul. Your soul has something to say. Your soul wants you to love it again, right? And be friends with it again. Now, the 12th house can also be about helping others. And sometimes it can mean a hospital or a jail or something that's kind of away from the public like that in some way. But this is a very subconscious, quiet retreat. I almost want to say it's like the Hermit card in Tarot. It's like the Hermit, where you're going away on the mountain, you know, to heal the old wounds, to get back in touch with your soul, and to be guided by your own higher self, your own inner wisdom. And that's a big journey. And along the way, you will be definitely helping others. All right, so that's it. I really was excited to do this North Node in Pisces video. I hope you enjoyed it. Comment below your sign and let me know if this resonates with you. And remember, embrace your spiritual side. And I'll see you on the next one.